Hello there everybody, my name is Waddles. How are you doing today? Welcome to a beginner's guide of Subnautica. Subnautica just hit its full release and I thought it would be a good idea to go over some basics of this game. Maybe this will answer some questions that you're having, and if it does, do me a favor, leave me a like or even subscribe. I do have a Subnautica Let's Play series going on and I stream a lot of Subnautica on Twitch if you're really into this game. All of my stuff is linked down below. This video will answer some basic questions about this game. Where do you find titanium? Where do you find quartz? What should I do when I start this game? We will get into all of that today. The first thing you should do when you begin is look at your screen. On the left, in the bottom, you have oxygen, health, hunger, water. You need to keep those in mind. What I recommend is in your pod here, you have a medkit fabricator. Open this, take the medkit out. This will produce constant health kits for you. As you can see, it's on 1% already. So what you want to do is take these out every time it hits 100. Stock up on this stuff. In this box right here, you have some basic food and water, which will be very useful for you. But what you want to do is set some goals when you begin this game. Look in your fabricator and go to your equipment. What you want to look at trying to upgrade as fast as possible is the oxygen tank and fins. This will let you swim faster and swim longer, basically. The tools that you need to start looking at right away is the scanner and the knife, really. So to get the scanner, that is actually pretty easy. You need titanium and a battery. Now, how do you get titanium? That'll be the first question we'll answer. There is a door on the top and the bottom of your escape pod. If you go out into the water, to find titanium, the easiest way is scrap metal. It's everywhere. This is scrap metal. Go over and grab this. One scrap metal piece is worth 4 titanium. So that's pretty easy. Another way you can find titanium and also other materials, other ores I suppose you could say, is limestone. Limestone is pretty common. It's usually on the sides of things or in caves. If you break the limestone, you can get titanium. You can get a few different things. You can get copper from titanium. You're going to need copper for a scanner. So make sure you break limestone and grab the copper. To make a battery, you will also need acid mushroom. Acid mushroom is all over the surface near your life pod. This is what it looks like. You need 2. Don't forget about your oxygen. The oxygen is measured in seconds, so think of that 45 as 45 seconds under the water. Don't go too deep. The deeper you get, the more inefficient your oxygen tank will get until you're further along in the game. So, to get titanium, scrap metal. To get copper, go and find limestone. Limestone is in the caves. When you begin to explore, you will find vine forests. This is called Creepvine. This is very, very useful and an essential ingredient to craft things. You need to get a knife to be able to harvest the vine, but if you find the seeds, which are the glowing yellow things, those you can harvest for lubricant. So keep your eyes out for that. There should be a forest relatively near your life pod that landed. So look around for one of those. Going to be very useful to know where one of those is near your boat. Another basic mechanic is hunting fish. In the beginning, this is how you're gonna get your water supply and your food supply. Bladderfish, these little purple guys, are very useful for water. So you wanna get the bladderfish for water. Don't cook the bladderfish. The other fish, specifically peepers. Peepers are these fish that have a big yellow eye. That is a very good source of food. Peepers fill up a lot of food or hunger. Now, to make your water and food, you will use your fabricator. It's pretty straightforward in here, so we won't get all into that too much. Just explore it with your controller and mouse, see what you can do here. If it's blue or colored in, that means you can make it. If it's gray, you cannot make it. Now, when you cook your food, unless you treat it with salt, it will go stale. Water will not go stale, but food will. So don't cook all your food up right off the bat. Cook it when you need it. The fish can stay in your inventory or your storage as long as you want, but they cannot stay in there once they are cooked. Perhaps you're watching this video to figure out where you can find sandstone. Sandstone is just like limestone in the sense that it is a rock you break. Sandstone is a little bit more rare, and it also is a little bit more useful in my opinion. To find sandstone though, swim towards the Aurora. Now, don't go all the way up to the Aurora, that is dangerous. But if you go towards the Aurora, you will find this area that looks like this. This is where I go to harvest sandstone early on in the game. It will be sitting on the sides of these rock formations that are sticking out. You can get silver, among other things. Be very careful when you do this as well, because it is deep. I really do recommend to get a better oxygen tank before you go and try to harvest sandstone. I just nearly died there, and that was really dangerous. Now, in terms of how close I am to the Aurora, this is about how close I am. Don't get too close, that is a bad idea to do in the beginning, but look for this area to find sandstone. It's pretty easy to find it over here. This is about 360 meters away from the life pod. Now, the life pod could land in different areas, so don't just go off of that number. Going rapid fire here with the tips, another tip that I would give you is look around on the surface, right? It's sometimes easier to do in the night or the day. It just kind of depends on your graphics settings. But do you see anything? If you look closely, you will see a big cluster of clouds in the distance on the water behind the Aurora, sort of, like following where the back of the Aurora is. You'll see clouds sitting on the surface there. And then if you look in front of the Aurora a bit of a ways, so kind of more off to the left of it, I guess, there's another group of clouds. The clouds represent islands. There's islands over there, mini spoiler, but each island has some different things. I recommend going to the island that is past the jets of the Aurora, if that makes sense. Either way though, this island is where you can find base parts. I recommend, as fast as possible, creating a base, even if it is just a small tube. To make a base, you need the base builder tool, so you will need to be getting some sandstone, I do believe. Right there, habitat builder. So for the wiring kit, the computer chip, and the battery, you will need a little bit more advanced materials. There's a wiring kit, so you'll need sandstone, go to what I just told you, and then computer chip, which is table coral, gold, and copper wire, of course. Table coral is all over near the area where you spawn. It's on the side of rocks usually. Here is some table coral. This is what it looks like. You need to get a knife to harvest this stuff though. But make a habitat builder and make a small base. To make a small base, gather up some titanium and just make a small tube. I recommend throwing a solar panel on top of that to get some power. The reason you want to try and get on making a base as fast as possible is so you can have proper storage. This isn't a lot of storage in your life pod, so make a base and put some lockers in it to store things. You're going to want a fabricator and a medkit fabricator in the base, possibly a radio as well, but it's all up to you what you need. And finally, my final big tip for you in this video is look for the wreck sites once you have the scanner. The wreck sites are basically, pieces of the Aurora that are sunken into the water. You want to find these sites and scan the things at these sites. This is how you will expand your crafting recipe bank and be able to make more things and better things. There's some wreck sites that you need a laser tool to cut into, which is slightly further along in the game than just in the beginning. The wreck sites I am talking about that you want to look for are things like this over here. This is going to have a lot of stray pieces laying around on the ground that you can scan to get recipes, such as the sea glide or a grab trap. This piece is a sea glide fragment right here. You'll need to collect fragments to be able to craft the thing. And my final beginner's tip is to just play this game, mess around, and you'll start to catch everything and figure out how everything works. I hope this video answered some of your basic questions on how to find things, how to do things, what to do in Subnautica. Subnautica is a really great game. It's a really fun game once you get into it. So if you have any questions, throw them down in the comments below. If you're wondering how to find diamonds, maybe ask me in the comments below and I can get back to you. If you want another video, let me know as well down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and leave a like on the video, maybe even subscribe. Like I said in the beginning, I do a lot of other Subnautica content, just look around for it. All the links are in the description. Thank you very much for watching. I am Waddles, go have a good day, and goodbye.